Guys, look at this cool mountain I found. I think this bad boy needs a name. Maybe Mount Sam? Half as mountain? Twice as mountain? Whatever it is, I'm sure getting the name adopted will be a quick, straightforward process that doesn't demand submitting piles of paperwork to a panel of highly persnickety government name goblins. It does, doesn't it? Alright, let's see how it works. This is the Geographic Names Information System, the official record of what the United States federal government calls every mountain, prairie, and ocean white with foam. Not to mention every lake, island, hospital, airport, mine, you get the idea. It's a lot of stuff. And every one of the 2 million names on this map has been vetted and approved by this, the US Board of Geographic Names, a handful of government bureaucrats, all furious that I said their name wrong. Let's fix it for them. Isn't that nice? The BGN has been naming stuff across God's green earth for 130 years. So who are they? Who gave them the right? And how do I get them to put Mount Sam on the map? Right now, there are 60 members on the board across a few committees. They're employees from across the federal government lending their expertise and passion for paperwork to the BGN part-time alongside their actual jobs. Benjamin Harrison, one of our most forgettable presidents, created the BGN in 1890 because the names of the country's many new territories were inconsistent, and someone needed to standardize what words and spellings the government used for everything. They decided this river in Maryland and DC, which was sometimes called Eastern Branch, would be the Anacostia River, and that the Bering Sea would be spelled like this instead of this or that or this. This service, the standardization of place names, is so necessary that it circles back around to sounding stupid. Surely we don't need to pay a bunch of people to tell us the Grand Canyon is the Grand Canyon, no? Well, wrong on 2 counts. 1, BGNers don't get paid extra to be on the board, and 2, without them, you could be driving to the Grand Canyon, but all the signage could be for big old crack, and when you get lost in there, you tell search and rescue you were swept away by the Colorado River, but they wouldn't find you because on their map, the river you're in was called the Blue Snake of the West, and you would never be found. When World War II came around, Congress gave the BGN the additional task of standardizing the names the US government used for foreign places, lest anyone be unsure where, say, Normandy was when it mattered. And in case you thought they only handle places and countries, you should know they also have committees to approve names in Antarctica, the ocean floor, and space. These days, the Domestic Names Committee, the one with jurisdiction over Mount Sam, spends most of its time weeding out and replacing the many, many offensive names they'd previously approved. Names such as, well, we don't need to get into that, but here's a spreadsheet they made just of place names that had one particular slur in them, and potential replacement names for each. This is a rare instance where the BGN is cooking up names themselves, but usually their job is to accept or reject names submitted by the general public. To propose Mount Sam, I'll fill out this form, telling them all kinds of stuff about the mountain, why I think it should be called Mount Sam, plus letters from people on my side, details about the titular Sam, and details about my ops. Once I submit, it enters a series of meetings, emails, and public postings, stylized here as the Name Factory with the magic of motion graphics. First, someone on the BGN makes a case brief, a summary of my proposal featuring some research of their own. Am I lying about anything? Is my name impractical for some reason? Once that's done, the brief goes into the quarterly review list, along with every other proposal made in the last quarter, like this one, which is killer, and which the state of Florida opposes for some reason? The public gets 2 months to comment, then my proposal will eventually make its way to the docket for one of the BGN's monthly meetings, or as I call them, naming conventions, where they'll debate its merits in excruciating detail and either reject it, accept it, or send it back to me for more information. If they accept, they'll get it onto the map in 3 working days, and I'll get a cute little email telling me about it. If they reject, they'll log my name as a variant if their research suggested it was at least somewhat popularly used. And while I describe this process in 181 words, it takes a lot of time. Proposals can get stalled for over a decade, like this one to rename Devil's Tower in Wyoming to its traditional name, Bear Lodge. A proposal I support, not only because the Lakota Nation finds the current name offensive, but because the current name follows a BGN rule I can't stand, which is that they don't allow possessive apostrophes in place names, except for these 5 for some reason. Look at this! Ugly! Look at this. Better. Sorry, got carried away. Let's get back to Mount Sam. The BGN's ruling is based on 6 principles and 12 policies for good names. We won't dive into all of them because I respect your time, but here are the highlights. I've nailed some of the basics. The name I propose only uses characters from the provided ASCII table, and I'm not naming something already named by a different authority like an office building, school, or military base, so I'm basically clean on the principles front. On policies, Congress hasn't named Mount Sam, so that's good. My name isn't derogatory, confusing, or based on incorrect information. Big win. There's not another Mount Sam nearby, it's not too long, there's no hard rule on what would be, but under 28 characters is the guideline, and the name isn't commercial or promotional. That's all good, but if the BGN sees through all the lies on my form, I'm gonna get dinged on a few big things. One, nobody local calls the mountain Mount Sam. Only I do. This is a problem because the BGN's not there to slap down names from on high, they're there to make sure the government uses names that are in step for whatever people are already calling or wanting to call a geographic feature. So while technically anyone can propose any name, without widespread usage, I'm cooked. The other big problem with my name is, well, my name. Mount Sam is named for me, Sam from HI, which isn't gonna fly for two reasons. One, I have no significant connection to the mountain. I just saw it once. Even owning the land it's on or dying there wouldn't be direct enough associations. The second problem, which I hesitate to call a problem, is that I'm still alive. The BGN only names features after people who are 5+ years dead. A policy I assume is to prevent them from accepting a name like Mount Sam because I'm such a cool and nice guy, then regret it in 2 years when I drop the YouTube trade and pursue my true passions, crypto scams, and wage theft. For all these reasons, Mount Sam's got no shot. What are my options now? Well, the BGN would begrudgingly put it on a map if Congress passed a law telling them to, but that feels like a long shot. The Secretary of the Interior is allowed to unilaterally change a name, a power that was only ever used once to rename Mount McKinley back to its Koyukon-Athabascan name, Denali, but I doubt I can get that done. Technically, I can throw up a sign that says Mount Sam and just use the name unofficially, or I can accept that the BGN has won this round. Though, if you're watching this from far enough in the future, there's a chance I'm 5 years dead, in which case you could potentially get this Mount Sam thing going. Just a thought. Please do it. Please. But before you do, why not have a look at this video's wonderful sponsor, Brilliant.org. If you like half as interesting, i.e. learning a little something in under 15 minutes, accompanied by helpful graphics, you're going to love Brilliant.org, which is the same idea, but the stuff you learn is actually useful. They have over 70 courses, each made up of bite-sized interactive lessons to help you build your skills in less time than it takes to cook rice. And it's not just learning for learning's sake. So many of their courses are designed to have practical, real-world use, or just help you understand the systems and processes all around you. Their real-world algebra course helps you use math to spot good deals, their casino probability course can teach you how to blow, or not blow, all your money in Vegas, and their new case study course teaches you how to use math and science to do everything from maximize the value of your EV to go viral on Twitter. And you can try all of this free for a full 30 days by visiting brilliant.org/HI or clicking the link in the description. You'll also get 20% off an annual premium subscription, so get on it!